Hey y'all, so I'm back again with another sit down video. As you can read by the title, we're going to be talking about books, because if you didn't know, I'm kind of a bookworm, or at least I used to be. In elementary and middle school, I really love reading. Like, my grandmother would take me and my brother to the library during the summertime to make sure that we're still getting some reading enrichment and things like that. And I was the one that was getting big chapter books, while my brother was getting books with 3 words in them, or picture books. Even though he could read more, he just never was a reader. But on the other hand, I was always reading. I wanted to read. It was fun to me. I'm the one in that sense that brought up the homework. You know how you in class and people, the class favorite, what is it? I don't remember what it's called, but they always brought up, oh, did you check the homework? I'm always that one, like, Grandma, we going to the library today? Like, I wanted to read. I have kind of fell off from it since school, since going to college, because it was a lot of reading and writing that I really didn't want to do. I would love to get into it more, but right now I'm knowing that, you know, a book every couple months is good enough for me where I'm at right now. Trying to incorporate some pieces of, I think it was 75 hard or soft. I think either or. They have people reading 10 pages a day, and I would love to kind of incorporate that into my schedule, at least 10 pages a day. I feel like that's a good place to be at, and to keep your mind going and to learn new words. I really want to expand my vocabulary. I just want to become a better me. So that's one of the things that I do want to do, is read 10 pages a day. And maybe not even just a day, maybe every other day, or 3 days out the week I read. Just something. And that, you know, that includes reading the Bible as well. Anyways, we're going to get into my top five favorite urban books. Now, we know that urban books are a acquired taste, if I shall say myself. It's an acquired taste. Not everyone's going to like it. It may be a little too hood for some people, maybe a little too raw, but honey, it gets the job done. In school, probably from middle school to like 9th grade, I just wanted to be with a hood dude so bad. And so now, honey, I can live my dreams by reading about other people's stories, because I don't want to ride and die for nobody. That's not my story, but it is a few of our friends' story. And we're going to dive into 5 of my top fave books, top five that I have actually in hand. And we're going to see, you know, how y'all feel about them, if y'all have read them. I want to get your feedback. This is for the book community. And for those that are interested in getting into it, here's a few places for you to start. So we're going to start off with our first book, one of the pillars of the urban fiction community, coming in first place. I don't know about first place, but it's top 5. It's Coldest Winter Ever. And this is a book that I feel like all Black women, if you're into urban fiction, this is the one to start with. The Coldest Winter Ever. We hear a lot about Sister Soldier and how she is an amazing writer, and she puts you into the book. Like, you feel like you are in the streets with them. And so I just want to say that this is probably the foundation for starting with urban fiction. It's going back to the older books that were written, like really getting into the foundation of those things. A little bit about the book. It's about a girl named Winter. She is the daughter of a wealthy man. He is a drug dealer and things like that. The family has it going on. But, you know, before Pride comes the fall. Is that the saying, how it goes? You get what I'm saying. You at the top, it ain't nowhere to go but back down. So through the ups and the downs the family goes through. I'm seeing this boy run now. He's like inspiring me to run. Anyways, the family goes through some ups and downs, and it leads Winter down a tough path. Now let's talk a little about Winter as a you know, her personality. Winter is brave. She's confident. She's strong. She loves being the center of attention. She got a lot going on for herself. But because she's so used to being the center of attention, because she's so used to having it all together, all going on, she finds herself in some rough places. And it gets rough for her. But Winter definitely taught me a lot. She taught me to keep persevering through things, to keep going even when it's tough. She inspires me to hustle and to grow. And so, y'all, this is a great place to start with The Coldest Winter Ever by Sister Soldier. All right, I'm looking and I'm like, where should I start next? Because depending on where I start, first of all, I got these 3 heavy hitters. 3 heavy hitters. And they're all by the same lady. The same boss, honey. She's a boss. Her books, she has to be my favorite urban fiction author, along with her and her husband, because I think they are married. So it's Ashley Antoinette and Jaquavius. I think they're married, I want to say. If they're not, you know, forgive me, but they're a power. They're a force together. But honey, even separate, she does her thing. I bought 3 of her books. And I'll tell you a little bit more about the other books that I'm listening to through audiobook. But Ashley Antoinette got it going on. So let me see where I want to start with Ashley Antoinette. I guess I should just go in the order. Well, we'll start with Moth to a Flame. This is coming behind Coldest Winter Ever, because you need to read this after you read Coldest Winter Ever. It's kind of got the same feel to it, but you learn a lot more. So this is about Raven. Raven's also the daughter of a drug pen. You know, Benjamin Atkins. He's got it going on. He's that guy. He got the cars, he got the whips, he got the house, he got everything going on. And of course, his daughter, with Raven, I like to feel that she's confident, but at the same time, she's very naive. Raven is confident but naive, and she falls for someone that she shouldn't. And it just takes her down a road of misfortune. But through it, though, there are some happy moments and fun moments with Raven. From Raven, I think I learned that you don't have to end how you start. Because her ending, although not the most happy of endings, but through her journey, like, she kept going and she still pursued love, and she still, she just kept trying. And that's another thing that goes back to Coldest Winter Ever, is like, all of these women in these books, they're brave and they keep going and they persevere. And if that's not something that you don't want to feel, honey, don't read them. But if you do, please read. So that is Moth to a Flame by Ashley Antoinette. And then after Moth to a Flame, we'll talk about the sequel book. All right. And coming in last, doesn't mean it's last place, but we got the infamous. Well, is it infamous? I don't know, because I seen the TikTok about us, how we use infamous wrong. So I don't know. I may be using infamous wrong. Another reason why I need to read and start looking up definitions so that I can expand my vocabulary correctly. Because it's another thing to do, to expand it, but to not use it correctly. It's grown. Now, I found out about this book on Book Talk. It was on that Book Talk side of TikTok. I learned a lot in this book too. It's very descriptive. Very descriptive. So in this book, I haven't read this in a while. I think I read this book after the Cartel. I think I read it after the Cartel. I was like, okay, let me pick up another book. And I looked on Book Talk and this came up. So in this book, we learned about an R&B artist, Corey Fields. He spots Enchanted Jones. I love that name, Enchanted. It's so beautiful. And from that moment, he takes her under his wing. And y'all know who that sound like, right? I'm not saying no names, but we know who this book alludes a lot to, a certain somebody. I'm not saying no names, but I just want y'all to pick up what I'm saying. It alludes to a certain somebody who is in trouble right now. So this book is heavily based on that. I even looked up, like, is this book about oh boy? Because I was like, it sounds just like the stories that we heard on the documentaries and things like that. It sounds just like him. And so we learned about Enchanted, honey. She's a beautiful girl. Enchanted, from what I can remember, Enchanted was a bit naive as well. I want to say Enchanted wasn't that confident, but her mom was very protective over her in a sense. So I think that may have also been one of her the challenges that she dealt with. It's something. It's just something good to read. Like someone says up here, it's gut-wrenching. It is something. The author of this book is New York Times bestselling author Tiffany D. Jackson. Tiffany D. Jackson also has some other great books that I want to read. It's this book called Allegedly. I believe it's red, I think, and there's a girl sitting down kind of with her head held low, something like that. I heard really good things about that. And so Tiffany D. Jackson is another author to look out for. So if you ever don't know what to read, you're in a bookstore, you at the thrift store, you see a book, if it's got Tiffany D. Jackson in it, if it's got Ashley Antoinette, if it's got Ashley and Jaquavius, you need to get it. Okay? So after you read Moth to a Flame, which I've seen a lot of people reading Butterfly. I think it's called Butterfly. They've been reading that instead of kind of going in order. But I really like to take my time with books and series. So I didn't go. I'm excited to read Butterfly, but I'm still going through the other stories. So after you read Moth to the Flame, you got to read about Ethic. Because you're going to meet Ethic in Moth to a Flame. And one thing about that Ethic is your dream hood dude. Like, he's sophisticated, he's smart, he's handsome, he's wealthy, and he's level-headed at the same time, and he's so mature. Like, he's your dream hood guy. If you had to get a guy from the hood, you need to go with Ethic, okay? This book, it helps you to learn more about Ethic and his highs and lows, seeing him through the business, how he handles tough situations, how he handles raising his children, his misfortunate endings with women. Because, honey, at the same time, you might want to stay away from Ethic because Ethic just doesn't have the best luck with women. Almost every woman that Ethic I've been with, I ain't spoiling it for y'all, but everybody goes through hard times with Ethic. He's still standing for some reason. I don't know. But he's still an admirable guy. And I just love him. Like, you fall in love with Ethic. He's amazing. And you get to learn more about his story and where he's at after Moth to a Flame. So his legacy continues. And then I also, maybe I'll talk about that later, but wait a minute. So I just had to grab my computer real quick because there is this amazing creator on YouTube who does audiobooks. She does a lot of urban fiction, and she's so creative. She has the best animated voice and things like that. Like, she plays the music that they say they be like, oh, Nicki Minaj Bees in the Trap is playing right now. She'll play the song for you. Like, she's such an amazing creator, and it's all at no cost. Of course, you want to support her and things like that, but she does an amazing job. Let me see what her name is, because she's just that girl. Miss Witty Reads with a Z. I'm going to try to put that in my description or on the screen, but Miss MS Witty Reads, instead of an S, it's a Z at the end. So she has done a lot of Ashley Internet books. I think she's done a whole Ethic series, and that's how I'm continuing to read Ethic, because I did buy the first one, of course. I felt like, because it's about one, it's about ethic in one person. I felt like I wanted to hear it more instead of just reading it. So I'm probably gonna finish the ethic series by just doing audiobooks on YouTube, and it's free. You can't beat that. She also has the butterfly. What does she? Let me not tell y'all a story. I have to double check that, but she has a lot of the Ashley Antoinette section on her page. So we done went through 3 books. I got 2 more, and they still pretty heavy, I have to say. My 4th book I'm going to talk about is by Ashley and Jaquavius. Well, and then this is 3 books in one. It's not just because I got the deluxe edition, but this is the Cartel series 1 through 3. It just deserves a moment of silence because that's how good it is. Muy perfecto. I have to say, this is one of my favorite books, and it sparked my love for reading again, because when I read this, it was probably last year, probably about October-ish. And I was like, man, I want to read a good book. I've been working. I just work. I look at my phone. I look on TikTok. Maybe even read, different vlogs and stuff like that. But I'm like, I really want to do something intentional with myself and not watch TV so much. And so I picked this book. No, I ordered this book from Amazon. Or did I get it? I want to say I ordered this one. I can't remember, but y'all, it has been a blessing. It was a blessing in my life because it restored my love for reading. It kept me on my toes. Now, the thing about this Cartel, the Cartel is based in Miami. And I am looking at a little bit at the back because it's been a couple of months. And so it goes through the life of the Diamond family. The Diamond family, they have it going on too. But much like my other friends in the other books, it's not always good. So we just learn more about that, and we meet a new character, Mr. Carter. And Carter is much like Ethic. He's your dream guy. Now, Carter's a little more gutter. I like to think he's a little more gutter. He's a little bit more like outspoken than Ethic, but he's still one of the guys to go for. So we learn about Carter. We meet Mia Moore, and she's a love interest of Carter's, and we learn about her story. We learn about the Cartel more. It just goes on a roller coaster because you're literally up, down, up, down, up, down. You might coast along straight, but baby, back down, back up, back down. It's a lot, but it's so good. And I love that they do the y'all, am I speaking in tongues? Y'all see how excited I am about this book. I can't even talk straight. I love that they do, let me take my time, the deluxe edition, because it allows me to not have to keep going to the store, going to Amazon to buy books. I can just buy this big one, and I know this thing gonna have me set for at least, well, I can't even say this had me set. I read this in a month, which is, it's not that big, but at least it had me set for the month, because if it was 1, 2, 3, I would have went through them and had to keep ordering books. I love deluxe books because it just keeps everything in one place. So the Cartel is a good read, y'all, especially if you want to hear about family drama, getting into that, learning more about, I like the Miami slang that they use in the book. I love it. I just love everything. It's all around. It makes you fall in love with the characters. Ashley and Jaquavius, y'all did y'all thing. Ashley Antoinette is just that girl. Period. She's really that girl. So y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I really wanted this video to show another side of me because I am not one-sided. I am multidimensional like a Rubik's Cube, okay? There's so many layers to me, and I hope that this video help y'all to see that. And I hope to do more book reviews as well. Maybe if I pick up a book and I talk about it, I would love to share more with y'all. I would love if y'all drop down in the comments your favorite genre. And then if you love urban fiction like me, drop some suggestions, because the girl is in need of some suggestions right now. Excuse me. Right now, I'm listening to Ethic Book 3. So I'm listening to that, but I'm ready to get my hands on another book in true form, to be able to flip those pages and to cuddle up on my bed or in my living room to read. So if y'all have any suggestions, please let me know. Any of your favorite books, that even if it's not urban fiction, I do like mystery books. I haven't really read a lot of those in a while because most of the time I'm watching something mystery, so I don't really read as much of those. Another genre, I love romance too. So if there's any of those that you know that could change your girl's life or perspective, I love a book that just gives me come to Jesus. Like it's an awakening. It's a reckoning in your life. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Once again, I enjoyed doing this video, and there is plenty more to come. So I will see y'all soon. Peace.